Hello, this is Not a Spring Chick, and yes, did you know that this holiday season was the best holiday season ever? Oh, did you know that? I don't know if your pocketbooks are showing that. That's what they're saying, regardless of inclement weather throughout the United States. Well, we'll see how well those numbers stick, but for now we're going to bring Oldecam on with comments on the headlines of today. The president pick for top economist will define the next 4 years.
I'm going to be honest. My response to this one I got from a late night comic that's disenchanted with the president, but he said specifically the president of the United States was very disappointed when he was told Karl Marx is no longer alive.
Oh.
That was the response from the audience too.
Oh. Yeah. And that was from a late night comic.
That was from a late night comic that supports the president.
Now, unfortunately, it looks like we're heading towards that direction.
Yeah.
And the greatest retail holiday sales in the history of the United States.
Well, you know, they doubled the projections. The only problem is consumer electronics didn't sell. Gas was up, food was up, commodities were up, and the retailers, to get people in the stores, dumped the prices on everything. There's a difference between sales and profits, people. They didn't make profits. So they figure it might have been one of the worst seasons for profit and loss in the history of the retail industry.
Yeah, there is a difference between sales and profits.
Yeah.
Well,
actually, I don't think Obama understands that.
Oh, he doesn't?
Remember, his people, no one in his businesses, only 20% of the people working for the entire White House of his staff ever worked for a living.
Well, and part of it is because we went out and there were two things that we did watch, which is, what was that, the shopping cart?
Which is why I heard last week from a woman, a financial reporter. She says she does her research based on the shopping cart index about how many shopping carts are sitting inside the store and how many shopping carts are out in the lot. And she said the majority of the stores that she went to had like 2/3 of the shopping carts available for people.
That's a lot.
They were walking out with one bag in their hand.
And I know when we pay attention to what's happening, we look at how much, well, not only how busy it is volume-wise for the number of people walking around, but how many bags they seem to be walking away with.
And a lot of the people in the malls didn't have any bags. They were just there. That was also because what also people don't forget was that this was the greatest season ever. West Coast was underwater. Then the Midwest was under snow, and then the East Coast under a massive blizzard. But they had record sales. People couldn't get to the stores, but the sales were record. That's an impossibility.
Survey shows consumer confidence slipped in December.
Yeah, it started falling right around Black Friday in November. Oh. If consumer confidence is down, you don't spend money. As the woman with the shopping cart index says, the people that were buying things were buying clothes for their children and household items. They basically had been holding back before. This year they bought the household items they needed in the clothes. That's all they bought. And
it's all over for the Republicans now that the new Congress is ready to take over.
Well, they said they don't dare. This is the most popular president in American history. He's so popular that none of the pundits on the left can see any Republican even running against him for the office.
Oh,
and that
really?
because he's so popular and because he basically, as one of the nightclub comics did say, that he took everything but the toilet paper from the Republicans' restrooms on the lame duck session. The problem is those people are gone. There's a whole bunch of new Republicans coming in that basically are pissed off about what the last group did.
Hillary Clinton buried with the Secretary of State.
Well, yeah, they're basically that she is incommunicado right now. She's on vacation with her family. So is Bill Richardson. Bill Richardson is on vacation, and the State Department has no comment on the fact that she's probably been fired.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Seems kind of odd, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, but it's all, Obama has had nothing but bad news since Christmas Day like last year.
That actually is true.
Christmas, well, okay.
No wonder why he doesn't like Christmas. Look at all the bad news.
We put it this way, he's a Muslim. Muslims don't like Christmas.
Oh, so it just compounds it. But part of it is he's compounding it himself anyway.
With his stupid, they said they don't know who is running things, but they're very stupid, so.
And it's all over for the Republicans now that the new Congress is ready to take over.
Yeah, she likes that one so much.
It is, it's true, because it's almost here. But the death panels are back, but Democrats claim it was Bush who created them to begin with.
Oh, okay. All the Democrats have been giving the talking points by the Democratic leadership. Last night, you saw some Democrats go into a state of stuttering and not knowing what to... Oh, yeah, it was done under George Bush. He vetoed it, and then the Democratic Party overrode his veto. They go, no, he signed it. And they said, no, he vetoed it. And then your party, Pelosi and Reid, overrode his veto. They said, no, that's not the way it was. And they go, you know, then they look, you know, they're in a state of shock when there's nothing to respond to the talking points other than the fact George Bush signed it. This was just a Bush policy. No, it wasn't. It was a Pelosi and Reid policy. And basically they've been caught, and today they're ignoring it. They're refusing to talk because they have no, their whole response was blame it on Bush.
Right, and since they have nothing else to say because Bush vetoed it.
Yeah, now they're in trouble. They're trying to regroup. Okay, we're going to explain it simply. I'm a senior citizen. I'm also a well-educated senior citizen. I've got a doctor. I got actually 2 doctorates in my background. And end of life means death. If it is an end-of-life panel, it is a death panel. And if they're discussing about how to die with dignity, I don't really... Okay, here's a tip for all of you people that are very young. You know what a senior citizen thinks most about in his life?
What? Living another day?
Waking up the next morning. That's really paramount in an old person's thought train, is waking up the next morning. They don't want to think about end of life. Because, I mean, a lot of people my age are still very active, folks. I am.
China's state grid buys Brazil power assets for $1 billion.
Yeah, I don't know what they want with it. That doesn't make sense there. I can see them buying oil plants, you know, to ship oil, but you can't ship power.
I know. Wow.
The only thing I can think of is they're buying it because of the next Olympic Games and the World Cups that are all going there.
Yeah, but
they're basically wanting to control it, I think. Well, because what you want to do is their Olympic Games didn't go as well as they wanted.
Oh, so then they can help control it, and then they can
screw up the next Olympic Games, because,
or they can say that they did well. And
yeah, I think it's got to do with them wanting to cause mischief because they had somewhat of a disaster. I mean, I can tell you how bad it is. When we get an invite Olympic week to come cover the Olympic Games, you know there's a problem, folks.
And flooding prompts hundreds of evacuations in Australian towns.
But yeah, I mean, it's just, everything is getting, okay, it's all the result of global warming. Anything, if the wind blows, it's global warming. If it snows up to your butt, it's global warming. If it's cold as hell, it's global warming. If the earth shakes, it's global warming. And this is one last night from one of the paramount experts. It's really not important whether these are made up and falsifications. It's good that people are now getting an education. That if they admit, they basically came out last night and said it's not important if it's a lie, as long as people are being educated by the lie.
With repeal's fate uncertain, new suit challenges, don't ask.
They're going to repeal it. The Republicans are going to come in next week. They have enough votes. They're going to repeal it, and then Reid won't allow it to be repealed in the Senate. But Reid, here's the oddity. 23 Democrats are up for election in 212. I mean, 23. There's virtually no Republicans up for election. They figured that of those 23, 21 are vulnerable. The Republicans could end up with a supermajority in the Senate.
And thousands stranded by 2-foot blizzard in the Northeast.
Well, yeah, but thank God they were stranded, because they wouldn't have been able to spend all the money to help make this holiday season as good as it was.
Food safety bill backed by the House.
Well, yeah, because they screwed up on the first food safety bill because they didn't have all the provisions they needed to screw all the small businesses in it. So
Navy officer jumps to his death in Manila after drug arrest. Everybody
always jumps to their death or shoots themselves in the head when they've got a drug problem. Yeah, what it means is somebody tossed him out the window.
And airlines rake in $4.3 billion in fees, and Delta tops the list.
Well, yeah, they said they're not, okay, they said basically the airlines are on the verge of being, they're not going to be national, they're not going to be, put under the way they were. But the airlines are about to get hit like you cannot believe, because they said they're selling discount tickets online and then charging you $100 to for everything you bring on the plane. So you come to the airport. It says if you come to the airport today,
bring your credit card.
Bring your credit card, because they don't take cash.
Ooh, an Israel bone discovery could upset theories of human origin.
They got a tooth. The tooth could have been dumped there. So.
And a Monty Bubbleism from the Mark Twain of the Animal Kingdom.
Okay, this one, I like this one. That you can't be held responsible for fixing something you didn't know was broken, even though they said you should have known about it.